Welcome back to Gamers Vault Online. Today we'll be talking about some of the Warmachine Mark III spoilers and rumors that we've gotten. My name is Leonard.
This is Guillaume.
Yeah. So, what are some of the big changes for Mark III that we know of? It's going to be exciting. There's a lot of cool new rules. I think the biggest ones are Power Up and Spirit Bond.
Yeah.
So those are two of the new ones. So the way the game plays is completely different now. One of the new rules in this edition for both Warmachine and Hordes, they now have their unique mechanic that'll happen at the beginning of the turn. For Warmachine, it's called Power Up. So every single warjack in your control range, which is the new term for control area, gets will get a focus allocated to it automatically, but not from your warcaster. So the more jacks you have, you're actually kind of getting more free focus. So things like charging and so on will be free, which is really nice because this is kind of a cool way to sort of mitigate the fact that a lot of Hordes have way more initials and a decent number of them have Fury 4. Not tons, but enough of them that this makes an interesting interaction.
I think it also removes the Fury, the running tax, because you had to assign a focus to your jack to run, and that would be at the detriment of casting spells. So now you don't have that dilemma anymore. You can run and cast all your upkeeps on turn 1. So it allows for a more fluid battle group. Also, it kind of plays with the fact that Hordes has Fury management, and Warmachine had very little of it in the journeyman warcasters.
Yeah, and it kind of encourages a more interesting style of play in that you're not only casting upkeeps or running your jacks, you can do both to a certain extent and then choose where you want to tilt, if you want to go a little bit more on one side or a little bit on the other. But it just gives more overall freedom. It's a really nice rule. The new rule for Hordes is called Spirit Bond, which is whenever you lose a light, heavy, or I believe gargantuan war beast, at the beginning of your turn, you'll get one fury from their corpse, kind of thing. So this is to prevent the Horde's problem of running out of steam if they start losing their beasts and having to start cutting themselves in order to go up to max fury. So it's a cool balancing act. I think it kind of levels the playing ground. We'll have to see how this does affect the game. I mean, focus now seems really strong as opposed to before, but you have to be careful that this isn't just hype over the ability. Fury is
Flexible.
It's more flexible. The ability to choose when and where you put Fury, the ability to put more focus on guys is great, but you still might overextend yourself. And I think a lot of people are getting really excited about this and are going to run huge battle groups and then realize that they still don't have enough focus to run the whole thing. And although running hot in Hordes is a lot more dangerous, we'll have to see where the ground lies when the dust settles. What are some other big changes?
Reposition, lots of it.
So for most of the cards that we've seen, and even some of the unofficial leaks and so on, it seems like Mark III is very much obsessed with a few core mechanics that are going to be on just about everything. There's an overabundance of reposition.
And beat back. The way I see it is so far a lot of the abilities that have been leaked or spoiled revolve around movement and positioning. So they're like pushing that more than in Mark II, so it's going to be even more scenario play. So not every piece is intended to be a complete serial killer of your enemy forces, but a lot of them are going to be there to hinder his movement, reposition into areas after having done their job, Swift Enter, all this stuff.
Yeah, having reposition, and it's varying numbers, so we've seen reposition 3 and 5 are probably the most common ones. Cavalry, All cavalry have reposition, which means, but they've traded a lot of abilities for it.
They traded Ride By for reposition.
Ride By and Death Doors traded a lot for it, but there's also a huge amount of shield guard now in the game. So if you have important solos, they can all help each other out. Everyone's protecting everyone. All of your medium base infantry is protecting everyone. All of your jacks are protecting your solos so that they can protect your medium infantry so that they can protect your warcaster, and you can kind of chain shield guards down the line.
I wouldn't go as far as to say this is truth, but I think yes, there's a lot more shield guard than there used to be, so allowing for key pieces to be a little bit better protected.
Yeah.
We also see a little bit more D3 for shots. Randomization of shots in a way.
So it's kind of like in exchange for
rate of fire 3.
I think it's also in exchange for having so much with pre-measuring. Oh, that's a huge change we didn't. Pre-measuring is now exists. You no longer measure with your control range, and you no longer have to play high focus casters to really make sure that you have a good. So you're not making foolish mistakes from misguessing and from misguessing ranges. For some people, losing this doesn't change anything because we were pretty good at guessing ranges already. Having lots of experience in other war games that where you had to guess range for artillery and stuff. Jumping into Warmachine, for me, the whole guessing range outside of control range was not a big problem. But for some people, it's frustrating, and it is frustrating, especially in a tournament environment, to lose because of half an inch or even less because they're just a little bit out of range, and that's frustrating because you lose that whole activation. But I think to compensate for the pre-measuring now, I think that's part of the reason why we see a lot of D3 shots. If you can always know that you are going to be able to shoot something, you don't necessarily know how many shots you're going to be able to take on it. So it's an interesting trade-off. You can't guarantee the 2 or 3 shots. You have to hope that you get them. Although there are some +1s and bonuses around.
And I find the D3 ability is kind of a little bit stronger in Hordes than it is in Warmachine. Because in Hordes, at least, you can react to how many shots you got and start pumping fury as you pump shots in the target. Whereas in Warmachine, you have to guess and really gamble with your focus.
Yeah, putting
if you really want max efficiency out of your D3 shots, and all these resources might go to waste. Right?
Putting 3 focus on a guy and inconveniently rolling 1 on your D3 would really suck. So again, it provides like an interesting kind of mix-up. Stealth and true sight are a lot more common. Well, I don't know if stealth is necessarily more common. True sight seems to be on a lot of things, especially with the. I think Kara Sloan grants it to our battle group now.
Yes.
Which is pretty hilarious. Tough has been changed.
Yeah.
To no longer work when you're knocked down, which is so awesome.
Well, I personally think it's a good way to balance it. At the same time, it seems like they're giving a little bit more tough to other factions, but giving a lot more grievous wound than does. So tough will be, I will think, a little as much prevalent as it was before in Mark II, but with more ways for people to bypass it.
And trenchers have it now. This is the best news ever. So join us next time where we're going to go through the battle boxes. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button. We'll be talking about a lot more Mark III in the coming weeks. Bye.